Tottenham win Europa League after beating Man United in final. Ruben Amorim drops bombshell, "I'll leave Manchester United if they don't want me." Arsenal's shocking move for Rodrigo revealed. Is he the next big signing? Barcelona has extended Hansi Flick's contract until June 2027. Brennan Johnson's scrappy first-half goal secured Tottenham's 1-0 victory over Manchester United in the Europa League final, giving them their first trophy in 17 years. The match, and Johnson's goal in the 42nd minute, perfectly reflected a battle between the Premier League's 16th and 17th placed teams. United dominated the second half, with 3 clear chances to equalise. But Guillermo Vicario made a crucial save. In the end, the night belonged to Tottenham. Spurs ended their silverware drought, winning their first title since 2008. Who lifted their first European trophy since 1984 and beat United for a 4th time this year. Big news at Manchester City. Pep Guardiola has threatened to quit unless the club reduces the size of his squad this summer, saying it's impossible for my soul to leave so many players out. After City's 3-1 win over Bournemouth, players like Kusanov, Savinho, McAtee, Echeverri, and Lewis were left out of the 20-man squad. Guardiola is frustrated with the number of sideline players. "I told the club I don't want this. If we keep a squad this size, I will quit." Guardiola says it's tough to tell players they can't play. "It's impossible for my soul," he said. Reflecting on earlier struggles, he added, "We couldn't even select 11 players." He insists, "Next season, it can't be like this." Ruben Amorim has stated he will leave Manchester United if both the board and fans no longer want him, following their Europa League final loss to Tottenham Hotspur. The 1-0 defeat left United in 16th place, and Amorim admitted he would step down if he's not the right man for the job. Despite the setbacks, Amorim remains confident in his abilities. Luke Shaw expressed full support for Amorim, stating he's 100% the right man, but acknowledged that players must take responsibility for the team's disappointing season. Manchester United's disappointing Europa League final loss to Tottenham Hotspur was marred by several underperforming players. Luke Shaw had a particularly poor game, failing to track Brennan Johnson for the match-winning goal and missing a late header that was saved by Guillermo Vicario. Bruno Fernandes, who was expected to inspire, offered little in attack and failed to make an impact. His loose pass led to a dangerous counter-attack from Tottenham, and his shooting was off target. Patrick Dorgu also struggled defensively, failing to close down Johnson and giving the attacker too much space. Despite a few bright moments from Amad Diallo, who created chances and tested the goalkeeper, United's attack was ineffective, and their defense was weak. The team's failure to step up in a critical final reflects the lack of leadership and poor decision-making, leaving them with no answers in a game they desperately needed to win. On the other side, Ange Postecoglou has stated that finishing third in the Premier League wouldn't have changed Tottenham, but winning the Europa League will. Spurs claimed a 1-0 victory over Manchester United, with Brennan Johnson scoring the only goal, fulfilling Postecoglou's earlier promise of always winning a trophy in his second season. This is Tottenham's first silverware since 2008, securing their place in next season's Champions League and boosting the club's revenue. Reflecting on his statement, Postecoglou said, "It wasn't boasting, it was a declaration. Winning changes this football club." Barcelona has extended Hansi Flick's contract until June 2027 after a successful first season in charge. The German manager, initially appointed on a 2-year deal in May 2024, has led Barca to La Liga, Copa del Rey, and Spanish Super Cup titles. Although they were eliminated by Inter Milan in the Champions League semi-finals, Flick's impact has been undeniable. Barcelona praised him for the belief he's instilled in the team and for making them a feared rival in Europe once again. Arsenal is reportedly eyeing a move for Rodrigo, the 24-year-old Brazilian forward, who could be on his way out of Real Madrid this summer. According to Sky Germany, talks have already started behind the scenes as Arsenal seriously considers making a transfer bid for the forward. While the deal is still in the early stages and faces challenges, the Gunners are exploring all options for a potential move, with Rodrigo as a key target for the upcoming window. Florian Wirtz, the 22-year-old Bayer Leverkusen attacking midfielder, is set to decide between a move to Bayern Munich or Liverpool within the next 10 days. Both clubs are eager to sign the Germany international, but the decision is a tough one. Bayern Munich once saw Real Madrid as the main competition for Wirtz, but now Liverpool has emerged as a serious contender. Bayern expects the decision to come soon, as much of their squad planning depends on it. Liverpool has impressed Wirtz's family and is pushing hard to make him the centerpiece of their future squad, while Bayern remains confident in securing his signature. Barcelona is targeting Liverpool's 28-year-old Colombian winger, Luis Diaz, who still has 2 years left on his contract at Anfield. While Barca sees Diaz as the perfect addition to strengthen their attack next season, they're also exploring other options due to the challenges in negotiating with Liverpool. Diaz has shown interest in extending his stay at Liverpool, but Barcelona continues to pursue him as part of their summer plans, alongside a centre-back and full-back. However, the club's financial situation will dictate whether they can move for Diaz or focus on more affordable alternatives. Liverpool is considering Malik Fofana, the 20-year-old winger from Lyon and Belgium, as a potential option if Luis Diaz leaves the club. With Barcelona circling around Diaz, Liverpool is preparing for a possible move by the Spanish club and has already inquired about Fofana. The young winger has impressed with his balance, technical ability, and maturity, scoring 11 goals and providing 6 assists in 41 appearances this season. Lyon may be willing to sell due to financial struggles, with a price tag speculated to be around €30 million. However, Barcelona is also pursuing Diaz, with an offer expected to be around €60 million. Kevin De Bruyne, the 33-year-old Belgian midfielder, is in high demand as he prepares to leave Manchester City as a free agent this summer. Napoli and Chicago Fire are the front-runners for his signature, with Napoli leading the race, especially after their surprise success in Serie A. Despite interest from MLS and the Saudi Pro League, De Bruyne is prioritizing staying in Europe, with a focus on his family and his hopes for the 2026 World Cup. He's asking for a salary around £12 million per year. The competition remains fierce, but Napoli's strong Champions League qualification gives them a significant edge. James McAtee, the 22-year-old Manchester City midfielder, is a target for Bayer Leverkusen and is also being monitored by several Premier League clubs. According to Sky Germany, Leverkusen remains interested in the young Englishman, but the next steps depend on the club appointing a new manager. While a move to the Bundesliga is still on the table, the situation remains fluid, with Premier League clubs also keeping an eye on McAtee as a potential addition to their squads. Chelsea is determined to keep Enzo Fernandez, despite Real Madrid's interest in the 24-year-old Argentina midfielder. Xabi Alonso, set to replace Carlo Ancelotti, is reportedly targeting Fernandez as part of his plans to strengthen Madrid's midfield. However, Chelsea has no intention of selling the player, who was signed for £106.7 million in January 2023. With a contract running until 2032, Fernandez has had a strong season at Stamford Bridge, captaining the team and improving his goal-scoring under Enzo Maresca. While Real Madrid is keen, Chelsea remains firm in their stance. Liverpool has offered their highly rated Spanish centre-back, Welity Lucky, 19, a new 4-year deal. The young defender's current contract is set to expire this summer, and Liverpool is eager to keep him at the club. However, Spanish and German clubs are also in negotiations to sign the talented centre-back, making his future uncertain. Liverpool hopes the new contract offer will secure his services for the next few years. Fiorentina president Rocco Commisso is set to meet with Moise Kean to convince the 25-year-old striker to stay at the club amid interest from several teams. Kean, who has been in fantastic form under Rafael Palladino, scoring 24 goals across all competitions, has earned a recall to the Italian national team. While grateful to Fiorentina, Kean's ambitions may lead him elsewhere, especially with a €52 million release clause active from July 1 to 15. Commisso is determined to present a project that aligns with Kean's goals, both financially and sporting-wise, to persuade him to stay. Victor Gyökeres has admitted to his Sporting Lisbon teammates that he is unsure where he will play next season. The 26-year-old Sweden forward, linked with Arsenal and Manchester United, joked that he isn't a fortune teller when asked about his future. Gyökeres, who has been in exceptional form with 63 goals and 19 assists in 66 games, is expected to be sold for £60 million after the Portuguese Cup final against Benfica. Arsenal is reportedly eager to land the striker, with Andrea Berta prioritising him as their top transfer target, and Gyökeres has previously expressed his ambition to play for one of Europe's top clubs. Francesco Farioli has left Ajax following a dramatic collapse that saw them miss out on the Eredivisie title. Despite holding a 9-point lead with 7 games remaining, Ajax finished just 1 point behind champions PSV Eindhoven. Farioli, 36, leaves after 1 season, having joined on a 3-year contract last summer. He explained that while he and the club shared the same goals, their differing visions for achieving them led to his decision to part ways. Ajax's technical director, Alex Kroos, called Farioli's departure incredibly disappointing, but acknowledged the club had achieved its goal of Champions League qualification under his leadership. 5 individuals have been handed suspended prison sentences for racially abusing Vinicius Jr. during a match against Real Valladolid in September 2022. This is the first time in Spain that racist insults in a football stadium have been officially condemned as a hate crime. The offenders were given a 1-year prison sentence, which is suspended if they commit no further offences for 3 years. They were also fined between €1,080 and €1,620 and banned from attending any matches for the same period. La Liga hailed this as a major step in the fight against racism. Pepe Reina, the former Liverpool and Spain goalkeeper, has announced he will retire at the age of 42 at the end of this season. Currently with Italian club Como, Reina will play his final match when they host Inter Milan in Serie A on Friday. A product of Barcelona's academy, Reina was part of Spain's World Cup winning squad in 2010 and helped them claim 2 European Championships in 2008 and 2012. He made 394 appearances for Liverpool, winning the FA Cup, League Cup, and the Premier League Golden Glove 3 times. His career includes stints at Bayern Munich, Napoli, and AC Milan, and he played his 1,000th competitive game in 2023. Jurgen Klopp has reportedly agreed to become the new manager of AS Roma, making a return to coaching after his emotional departure from Liverpool in the summer of 2024. Klopp briefly served as global football head for Red Bull in early 2025, overseeing clubs like RB Leipzig and New York Red Bulls. However, he has since expressed a desire to return to full-time coaching. According to La Stampa, Roma owner Friedkin has been targeting Klopp for a while, following the retirement of former manager Claudio Ranieri. Klopp could now bring his experience from Bundesliga, Premier League, and Champions League wins to Serie A. Inter Milan is reportedly preparing a €60 million offer to sign Barcelona's midfielder Fermin Lopez as a long-term replacement for Henrik Mkhitaryan. The 22-year-old Spanish talent has impressed with his performances for Barcelona, especially during their Champions League semi-final run. Inter, aiming to refresh their midfield, sees Lopez as a key addition. While Barcelona is under pressure from financial fair play rules, they are willing to negotiate, with Fermin likely to be sold to raise funds for the club's future moves. Thiago Motta is the latest candidate linked to the Milan job, joining Vincenzo Italiano and a returning Max Allegri. Motta, recently sacked by Juventus, impressed during his time at Bologna, leading them to a Champions League spot. Italiano, currently with Bologna until 2026, has emerged as the favourite but was offered a new contract until 2028. The arrival of Igli Ter as Milan's new sports director would rule out Maurizio Sarri due to his strained relationship with Ter at Lazio.